Everyone, welcome to Phase on Rally Interviews. Thank you for clicking on the video in the first place. I really appreciate you guys clicking the subscribe button, like the video if you enjoyed it, and comment below any kind of questions you want me to ask, any kind of questions you want me to ask future players, any kind of questions you have for me personally. I can answer them in the comments as well. But like I said, enjoy the interview. Thank you again for clicking on the video in the first place, and have a great rest of your day. Questions. All right, everyone, I'm Faisal. Of course, I'm here with Licorice, the top laner for Golden Guardians, coming off of what I saw as a dominant victory, ending with, I believe it was a 10k gold lead at the end of the game. It was so large that even he had 150 gold shutdown, which, he gave over, but didn't end up changing the course of the game. From my eyes, it never really looked like a close game. What did it feel like playing on stage?
I think today I was a little nervous because Rich is just like a really strong opponent, I think. But I mean, really, it was just like after the first Rift Herald, like we got such a big lead. Like even though I think they got the Rift Herald, we won the fight really hard. So then after that, it just felt like the game was in our control, and it was like just like don't throw it, guys, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and of course, Rich locks in Cassante, which is he's either going to make that champion get nerfed or be the reason why the champion gets nerfed because he either smurfs on it or does not smurf against it.
Mhm.
After this game today, I believe you guys locked in a top two or top three seed. At the end of the week, you guys potentially have the chance to end at the top of the standings. Is that something that you were actually aware of coming into the week, or is that something that is just news to you and you didn't know about?
I mean, it's something we've been talking about a fair bit, just like because like usually you have a lot of time to kill before the games. Like we meet at like 3:30 for like the 6 p.m. game, so we've talked about it a bit. I mean, first place would be cool, obviously. So that's where we're gonna try to go.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, you guys already passed 9 wins, right? It'd just be like
Yeah.
icing on the cake. Now the regular split's over. I think it's fair to say that Golden Guardians was not a flash in the pan, as many pundits predicted coming into the split. Um, at the start of the split, was it ever a goal for you guys as a team or yourself as a player to prove that we were wrong? You guys weren't a flash in the pan, or were you just saying, "Hey, we know where we are. We're just going to play at our level. Like we know where we are. Just ignore them."
Uh, I mean, for me, like honestly, I've been playing for long enough that I mostly just ignore the fan sentiment because, like, I think like, um, or like what the pundits are saying. Like, I don't really feel like I have to prove myself anymore. Like, go on stage or like prove people, even like other players, like prove them wrong or show them how good I am or how dominant I am. It's like no, I just like want to go out and play well and have a good time while I'm doing it. So I feel like I was able to do that pretty well this split, and I mean just finishing in a like in the top of the standings is just icing on the cake, like you said.
Yeah. Now you mentioned you've been playing for a long time. It goes way back to being on Cloud9, stealing Baron with Ornn, which
Mhm.
is still a highlight of my as a fan of NA. But going back to MSI, we've seen a resurgence in your play. It's like the renaissance of your play. And to me, you're looking like that same Licorice that stole Baron with Ornn back at Worlds with the Cloud9 run that's been the deepest run for NA ever. It's most likely they're going to end up on a lot of people's all pro ballots, myself included. Do you think you're at that level, like that C9 Licorice level, or do you think that you're at a different level? You're like maybe a step below, or you maybe even playing better than you were during that run.
Um, I mean, I think I'm definitely a better player than I was back then. Like I know a lot more about the game, and I'm just like the way I think about picks and stuff is a lot more nuanced. I think, um, I'd say my performance at MSI was probably technically better than my performance at Worlds because I think that Worlds I struggled against like the really good top laners. Like I think Keen and um
I can't
like
remember either. Don't worry. I
that
remember
was
Keen.
that was your IG one, I think, right? So it was
Yeah,
like yeah, it was like
Desai.
Keen and Desai were the best top laners at the tournament, and I like wasn't really close to contesting them, but I think like at MSI it wasn't like it was definitely at least playable against like Bin and 369, and then I mean I wish I got the chance to play Zeus on stage as well, but I would say my play has gotten a lot better since then. And of course everyone else has gotten better too, but um, yeah, I don't know. I'm
Hey,
pretty sure if I laned against C9 Licorice, I'd win pretty hard.
I'd want to see that. Like you just like split into two different people, and like there's like old you and new you. I'd love to see that. But I mean, If you played Zeus now, I think he'd be a step down than what he showed at MSI. At T1 has not been looking good. Speaking of All Pro, all the ballots are out. I got mine today. I know you're going to be on mine. I'm not going to spoil where I'm going to put you on it. You can find that out when the results come out. But if you had to make an All Pro ballot of, not including yourself, but players in your role, who would you put as first team, second team, and third team? It could be anyone in the league, just excluding yourself, like the rest of your peers.
Um, I don't really have an order for this, but I would say Revenge, Summit, and Rich have been the players that stood out to me the most. And I don't really know who I'd put first, second, and third. I feel like people's performance has been pretty variable throughout the split. And obviously I'm not like watching players super closely, like
Yeah.
as a fan to like but I think Revenge, Summit, and Rich have been the ones that impressed me the most.
Really? I mean, Revenge makes sense because he's always been like a really good player, but it's just like been overshadowed by being on Sorry Immortals. He's been on Immortals, but I'm surprised he didn't add Fudge in there. Is it just like he's just not playing at that level, or is it he just hasn't impressed you when you play against him?
I mean, I think Fudge has been struggling a little bit this split. And like, I mean, I'm sure he could be a slot, like a, I'm sure he can slot in for like second all pro or third all pro for a lot of people, but I just think like, I don't know, he's good. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't have too much to say about that.
Yeah, fair enough. It's just is your personal experience playing out against him on stage in scrims makes sense. I if I played against him, I think I'd be like just like a minion to him. I'm bronze, he's challenger. Played against the best in the world. I'd just be like a Nico minion, except I would be the actual minion. Anyways, thank you very much for sitting with me. It's always a pleasure talking with any of the Golden Gardens players. Yourself, who he sticks a. I haven't talked to Gory or River yet. I should
Mhm.
probably do that. But thank you very much for sitting with me again. It's a pleasure as always, like I said, and good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we're all good. Thank you very much.